I'm your host, Annie Bowles, and this is News du Jour. Hey you guys, happy Friday. Welcome back to the News du Jour. We made it to the end of the week. I'm so relieved. I don't know about you guys. Having a teething baby and working full time with that baby is tough. I'm not going to lie. He is definitely not himself right now, but we're giving him all of the grace, all of the snuggles, and all of the Tylenol to get us through this patch. So send up a prayer for me that these teeth pop out soon because he is struggling. Anywho, we'll go ahead and without further ado, hop into the news for today. This first story is one that I'm so excited to share with you guys. First up for today, Patagonias Big news. Okay, guys, so this story legit gives me full body chills, but also had me crying when I first read it, which should be surprising to no one. Let's dive in. At a time when climate change is a looming, terrifying reality, with very few glimmers of hope or answers, one man has stepped up to try to help literally save the world. He's given away 1% of Patagonia's hefty profits for decades now, but Yvon Chouinard decided to give up being a billionaire in order to try and help save our planet and humankind from imminent destruction. He founded and built the outdoor apparel company Patagonia with his wife, which has seen incredible success to the tune of $3 billion. And now, rather than just selling his company outright or taking it public, as a lot of founders do just for ego's sake, he decided to give his company to climate efforts, but in an ongoing way, by transferring the company into a trust that will divide the profits among 3 different climate change nonprofits that are really doing the work. The company churns out about $100 million a year in profits. So each nonprofit would receive about $33 million a year, but on an ongoing basis. I mean, indefinitely, assuming Patagonia continues to thrive. Most large corporations these days, especially in the apparel space, do more harm than anyone else when it comes to the environment. So this is a huge step forward. Because of how they set it up with a trust, the family received no tax break. But this was the way to get the most money to the charities on an ongoing basis. So they took that hit of about $17.5 million tax-wise to make it happen. In order to fully understand this story, you have to understand that Yvon is a guy who legit in his past ate cans of cat food out of his car when he was living out of his car and when he's running around being a mountain climber. He's not your typical image of a billionaire. He doesn't own a computer or a cell phone. He never wanted to be a businessman. And now he's left a legacy that he can really step away from, knowing it will help support our planet on its own for years to come. He doesn't even have to be a part of it. Yvon Chouinard said of the announcement, quote, "I feel a big relief that I've put my life in order. For us, it was the ideal solution." End quote. Wow. What a meaningful end to a powerful career, however unwanted it may have been. Now, when you shop at Patagonia, You're not only setting out to explore nature and the world, but you're helping to save it. Next up for today, Republicans are moving migrants. So the latest political stunt is unfolding right before our eyes, you guys. I swear, sometimes politics can be more dramatic than reality TV. Except these are people's actual lives hanging in the balance, their futures. More conservative states with Republican leadership have been flying and busing illegal immigrants to more progressive areas. Busloads of migrants from Texas were dropped off to homeless shelters in New York City. Dozens were flown from Florida to the upscale Martha's Vineyard. And just yesterday, 2 busloads full arrived on the vice president's lawn. All of this was a form of protest against progressive immigration laws of the Biden administration. They didn't give any advanced warning about these transportations, intentionally catching the receivers by surprise. But Kamala's team is already pulling together volunteers to go and welcome the stranger with food, water, and making arrangements for their shelter. These migrants were promised a lot by the people loading them onto these buses, and they were told they were going to locations different from where they were actually dropped off. So volunteers are setting up at church stations and safe areas where these migrants can go and receive help. But they're kind of left in the trenches of wherever they've been dropped off in what amounts to a political stunt. So this is something that is certainly eye-catching and a huge talking point right now. And now you know the details. So last up for today, we are discussing Senator Graham's 15-week abortion bill. So Senator Lindsey Graham has taken a strong stance on abortion here, you guys. He looks to make it illegal at the federal level past 15 weeks, with only exceptions for rape, incest, and the life of the mother. The thing is, this is a shift for Senator Graham. He had previously and vocally insisted that things like gay rights and abortions should be resolved on a state-by-state basis, not on the federal level. Now, people are allowed to change their minds, even senators. But it's interesting and notable that this shift is happening right now, especially because the subject of abortion really seems to be hurting Republican races all across the country. The vast majority of Americans, when polled by many different researchers, but we'll go ahead and cite the Pew Research Center's data, that they land in the middle about abortion. 61% of Americans, again, according to Pew Research polling, believe that abortion should be legal in all or most cases. So Senator Graham is taking an unpopular stand here and a big risk before the midterm elections. And what's going to happen with this is it will really put some of his fellow Republicans in the hot seat, if you think about it. Will they stand with Graham's bill or not? They risk losing voters either way they play it, so they will have to really carefully weigh their decision of whether to vote for this bill or not. Graham is kind of forcing their hands. Be with us or against us. And that is the news du jour. Today, I wanted to leave you guys with the quote, "When writing the story of your life, don't let anyone else hold the pen." If you enjoyed this episode, please consider becoming a patron of our podcast. For $7.99 a month, you can unlock tons of perks like breaking news text messages so that you're never out of the loop. Tons of bonus episodes are already up there ready for you to binge, and a discussion board full of networking opportunities and much more. Go to www.patreon.com/sugarfree media today to become a patron. This is the best way to support our show. Our patrons make News du Jour possible. But a couple other ways to support our podcast are rate and review on whatever podcast platform you use to listen, share on your social media, you have influence, tell your friends, family, and colleagues that you love News du Jour and why you listen. You can also follow us on social media under sugarfreemedia.co on Instagram, just sugarfreemedia, all one word, on TikTok, and sugarfree_media on Twitter. We also have a weekend newsletter called Dreamers Digest that's full of dreamy content recommendations for your weekend and a life update from yours truly. Sign up today on our website, www.sugarfreemedia.co. Our music is by Joey Lavoie and Nicholas Foster. Our cover art is by Hannah Pierce Photography. Our Sugar Free Media logo is by Catherine Jezik Designs. Any twinkling or little footsteps you might hear in the background are by my dog, Rhett. He's a rescue pup and always records with me. We appreciate you listening and look forward to telling you about the news again next time on News du Jour.
Broadcasting from Oklahoma.